Hello, everyone. This is The Great Library of Tomorrow by Rosalia Aguilar Solace, and that is a rather eye-catching cover. So the things I liked about this, right off the bat from the start, you have this guy called the Ash Man, who's just burning everything down with all these, they're called the Unwritten, these creatures he's created. And our protagonist is with her love of her life, who she's known for centuries. She herself escaped Pompeii. That's where she started, and she was taken into this library that day. And she is one of the sages that keeps the library. And there's this moment, he sacrifices himself, she gets away, and what she does to get away is to call upon this creature to take her away, to escape. I thought she was going to call up a magical horse or something. Nope, she called that great big eagle right there, and she jumped on it, and they took off, and I could hear the epic music in my mind in this particular scene. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Later on, there's this great scene where in this great tree, there are all these airships atop it, and they're all burning and falling out of the sky. Great scene. There is this fellow, Arturo. He's in Mexico City. He's on Earth. He gets... the library is a bit, if it's not fully sentient, it's at least partially sentient in its dealings, as he thinks he's gone into this bookshop, and it happens to be a gateway into this fantasy world where this library resides. And he finds out, he in the real world he's a writer, but not an author of fiction, that kind of thing. That's what he always wanted to be. Well, he gets into this world, and he finds out very quickly that as he makes notes, magical things start to happen. He can just make reality from writing. That I would loved if this book had focused on just that thing. There's this one other clever thing I thought was rather interesting. So she's been with this guy for centuries, and he dies. And though she's obviously not happy about this, she goes along, and it almost feels like, aren't we forgetting that she's supposed to be kind of mourning this guy? Because she's got to go save the world. Well, later on, there's this kid who loses his brother in a fall. And page after page, he is mentally devastated. So I thought, oh, that's actually really clever. She's been around for centuries. She can handle it. She's not happy about this. She's unhappy about this. But she's got to go save the world, and she's going to do it. She is the sage of hope. And he isn't. He's just a kid, and it shows. It shows the difference between someone who's alive for centuries and someone who hasn't been, who can endure and who cannot. However, so ultimately this is basically a thumbs down for me. Its biggest problem is something I've run into earlier this year, where it's not just unending info dumping, but they also do it during dialogue, where you get a line of dialogue, at least a page of info dumping on the subject or the person speaking or what have you, and then another line of dialogue, and then info dump, dialogue, info dump, dump, just throughout this whole book. And it really bogged things down. Now, it was interesting enough, I did finish the book. And so it isn't the worst thing I've ever read, but it just wears on you. And there's this other thing where what happens. So this is I think as far as magic libraries go, this is like the third magic library book I think I've ever read. And the issue with all of them has been that they don't get into the books. They don't use them. It's just a place. We're calling this a library. They could have called it, I don't know, the bathroom, for all the use they get out of it. It's just there. Dig in. There's supposed to be like millions of books there. In this one, it's like the center of the friggin' universe. Everything springs from the library. It's connected through stories and words and sentences, and it's everything writing is now an analogy for magic. And okay, then get into those books. Get in there. Dig it out. Title it. What's in there? They got to research stuff. Find out. Bring us along for the journey. Hell, there was a writer in here who could have dug into those books deeply and found out what he can and can't do. And it's just a miss. Missed completely. And so it was a little tiring. Kind of glad it was done. That's 3 books in a row. I have not, like I said, I did finish this one, but it just didn't make it for me. So anyway, happily though, I don't have a copy of it yet because it's not out yet. Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is technically number 7, which is technically a re-release, because if you want to go get a paperback of it that came out last year, all you gotta do is go to Amazon and spend hundreds of dollars to get a copy. So re-release coming out tomorrow. I tried to go today because when I got Absolution by Jeff Vandermeer, I just happened to wander in a bookstore the day before it was supposed to be published. Supposed to come out on a Tuesday. I went in on a Monday and it was sitting there. So I thought maybe lightning will strike twice. No, it wasn't there. So they caught that one. It won't be out till tomorrow, and I got to work all day and then get it afterwards, and pain. But here it is anyway. The time has come. Book 7 in the best-selling Dungeon Crawler Carl series is here. They call it Faction Wars, the 9th floor. 9 armies, each led by rich and powerful aliens from across the galaxy. Each team has one objective: to capture and hold the castle at the very center of the battlefield. Strategy, alliances, pitched battles, and of course betrayal. That all makes for great fun and even greater television. After all, none of these powerful aliens really die when they're playing war. Except this time. This time, winner takes all. Those who fall stay in the ground. As the AI continues its rapid decline, Carl and company take advantage of the chaos. For the first time ever, the Crawlers are fighting back. They are now one of the 9 teams, and this season, there's a 10th army on the playing field, the non-player characters, who are normally used as nothing but cannon fodder. They have become fully aware, fully self-aware, and formed a team of their own. I'm looking forward to that part. For Donut and Katya, the stakes are even higher. Only one of them will be allowed to leave this level. If they all want to survive, they're going to need a little help from a veteran or two. This is it. This is what we've been fighting toward. This is this inevitable ruin. So that is out tomorrow, and that's what I'm going to do for a video next week. So say how many pages? Because these things have been chunkers. 724. Okay, that's a little better than the 800 plus we've been getting, and that will be next week. He said, I think he said, Matt Denneman, the author, said he was thinking there would be 9 or 10, but he isn't. It's not written in stone, so who knows how many there's going to be. That's it. See you next week for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Bye-bye now.